So much of what we've talked about, and of course it's discussed in great deal of the book, is about the poverty of current decision making. And I think it's very exciting about the possibilities that are starting to be uncovered with empowering management to actually be the facilitator here. Do you think that we'll look back 20 years from now and think that companies actually succeeded or failed more by luck than by design, and that social now exposed that poverty of decision making in organizations?
I think social changes the rules on which organisations are based, right? So organisations got to, the corporate got to where it got to today by being very good at scaling, by being very good at systems and processes. To the extent that the Motorola thing, Six Sigma, 4.2 exceptions per million, which is a great thing if we're talking about quality and customer service, right? Because we want that. But actually, it's not a great thing when it's about our specific requirement, right? We don't want our very individual human experiences to be exceptions to a company.
Right.
We've got a great example, right? So if we think about Will and his and the problems that he had with his broadband provider, right? So he was kept on hold, over a number of days and weeks, but then he tweeted about it, and all of a sudden he's got customer services calling him. Right now, no mystery, he's got 40,000 followers. What he'd done by tweeting is he broke all of their processes. They just didn't work anymore because not only had he let them know he was unhappy, but he'd let all of their customers know, all of their potential customers, all of their competitors. So he was no longer in their system, no longer in their process, and that's what social tools have done inside and out of the organisation. Right, they're more akin to human interaction, and they start breaking some of the processes that got organisations to where they are today.
So we're heading towards a world of which I like this idea, if it's at all possible, a world of mass customization, in a sense. Catering for the individual, but at scale and speed, and that's what social allows organisations to do, to continue to grow, which they have to do, but at the same time to actually increase and tailor their services to their customer base.
Yeah, in some ways it is about scaling, but at the same time being more human. It's on the one hand we're moving forward, on the one hand we're going back to what business was originally. I think what does a company mean? It's a group of people around a common purpose. And remember, Rooven, when we looked this up, Campani means breaking bread, right? That's what you do with friends, and so it what it does is it allows us to be more human, but as you say, at scale.
I completely agree, and I think to me what's exciting is we're seeing it with a few companies already. One thinks of Nike and some of the work they're doing, where the role of company and customer are starting to blur.
Anyone outside the company can really communicate with anybody inside the company, and that's going to change the shape of an organisation, right? That's going to change the way in which organisations behave, because the way in which they behave is much more open, it's transparent. We can talk about it with our friends, and we can talk about it with our friends at scale and at speed.
So the principles you talk about collaborative decision making inside the organisation, empowering the employees to have their say, really you can extend these principles to outside the organisation as well, in terms of the customer base. The consumers of a product can be involved and engaged in the decision making process of a company as well, presumably, in this world.
And I think we've seen that on our journey, right? So we've seen many examples of organisations that have reached out to their customers to help them design,
co-design,
their next product, and that's happening more and more. I think we'll see that. If we think about the rise of social banking, we see the rise of crowdfunding and crowdsourcing. So. That they go beyond organisations like Indiegogo, which are about creative projects, to Kickstarter, which is about new technology products. Right there, a new product or a new offering is not going to get off the ground unless there are already a bunch of customers committed to buying it before it's created. That turns the whole model around, right? That's customers being consulted before even a product
is being produced.
Exactly, right.
And smarter markets now as well. So in effect, really, the smarter decision-making process is being shared amongst the entire ecosystem of a product.
Yeah, inclusive means inside and out, right? So it means partners, and it means customers, and it means suppliers. And
Okay, final question to wrap up then. In the current economic climate, where clearly it's not hard to convince people that traditional processes are, if not completely broken, certainly under scrutiny. They're failing us in many areas. Do you think there's never been a better time for organisations to look at the subject of collaborative decision making?
It's exactly the right time. We are absolutely looking at organisations, systems and processes that feel broken to all of us, right? We're very often disappointed with the level of customer service we get. All the data tells us that many of our workforce are disengaged. It's the right time for organisations to think again about how it engages its customers and how it engages its people.
Thank you very much.